You can talk to Shani anytime. It doesn't matter day or night. Shani, giving you light and love. We're coming on without a doubt. There's nothing you can't talk about. Shani, get ready to start the show. You're on with Shani and you know we're gonna talk. Ordinary people and extraordinary God. Check the reference in Ephesians 5. We walking in the light and we're living in love. You know with Shani we gon' keep it intact. Cause every Monday got it coming. Yeah, we coming right back. So act like you know we get it on and poppin' at the Shani Show. You can talk to Shani anytime. It doesn't matter day or night. Shani, we're giving you light and love. We're coming on without a doubt. There's nothing you can't talk about with Shani.
Welcome to another episode of the Sharing with Shani Show. I am your host, Shani. I'm not even, I be messing up because I'll be like, am I going to say my last name? I want it to be a moniker. You're on mute, Mika.
Yeah, you wanted to be the one name, I remember.
I wanted to have a one name.
Just do Shani. Shani.
This is your host, Shani. Right? Jazz hands. What up? What's up, Mika?
Not jazz hands.
I got special guests in the building. Tiana Goodwin out of Philly. So we just gonna have a Philly vibe tonight, a tri-state vibe, like New York, New Jersey, Philly. Is Pennsylvania considered part of the tri-state? There's not. It was New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, right?
Wait, it was. Wait a minute.
I don't know
It
the tri-state.
but the
like,
tri-state for us is Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey.
In New Jersey, right? It depends on where you are. Yeah,
it depends on where you are.
It's one up and one. It's one up you and one down.
Yep.
Okay. I feel like we're gonna have a mighty good time tonight. If I was in church, feeling. if I was a deacon, I'd be like, on tonight, on tomorrow. I hate that, by the way. But I love all y'all that say that. I just want to be clear.
I just read that somewhere today too. Oh, I know where it was. There was a post to say, "Irregardless is not a word."
It is not.
It's not.
It's not.
So somebody's response was, "I'll deal with that on tomorrow."
Oh!
I just started laughing. But apparently it's been added to the dictionary. Irregardless.
What? Irregardless has been added to the dictionary?
I've heard, but I haven't looked it up yet. I don't know.
To say that it's not a word?
I don't know.
Put non-words in the dictionary?
Let me tell you. Let me look it up. Let's see.
She said, let me look it up.
Yeah, it says it's added. It was added by Webster of all. Isn't Webster like the standard?
It was Oxford.
When was irregardless added to the dictionary? Hold on, y'all. It says 1912 through a similar word of unregardless. People have been arguing over it since then. And it says it does mean the same thing. Yes, it's a word.
It's not.
I don't know. My child can't use it.
Listen.
It's okay.
Tiana, you know your video's off?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, there I go.
There I go. All right, so it was not a holiday for me. And I'm just going to say that.
It's Indigenous Peoples' Day.
Yes, that's what it was. It wasn't the original holiday.
Yeah. Absolutely not. I had to ask I said, you celebrate Columbus Day? It was like, it was Indigenous People Day. I said, you right.
Right.
I mean, it was like 23,000 years. There was people here 23,000 years before.
1,000 years.
23,000. Yeah. That's like 23,000.
In case y'all didn't know.
Right.
Exactly. Comma in there.
But I don't know how you could literally discover something that people were already here. But
he discovered it for England.
Facts.
That part.
And she's just going to sip on that.
Yeah. You know what I discovered? What I discovered, a personal discovery, was that he was the Queen's boy toy. Did y'all know that?
What?
No.
Shani, you're a history buff. You didn't know that? You had never heard that before? I just heard it. I'm probably spreading rumors because I don't know how to fact check that, but that's what I had heard. And so now I'm just looking for it.
I think Snoops will fact check that. So he was the boy toy for the Queen of England. I thought he was from Spain.
No. Well, he probably is. He was Spain didn't have a queen though, right? Don't they
not to my
follow
knowledge.
right, exactly. So yeah, that's what I had heard, but I'm not the one to gossip. So
you didn't hear it from me.
Nope.
I mean, he long gone. I mean, long time ago. So,
long. I just thought it was interesting.
Brian in the comments said, and we don't know if, and it don't mean just Native Americans. We don't know who was here.
We don't.
That's facts.
We don't. We don't know.
Anyway, let's not. No more Columbus energy, right? Like, don't nobody care.
And what I did a land acknowledgement on Instagram today because you can go to a website and it can put in your address.
Oh, okay.
It'll tell you what tribe was on the land.
I love that.
Really?
Yes. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna find a really good production assistant that's not making
those are great.
I keep trying to train mine and she just I don't know, she give me flat. She got too much back talk.
Oh, cut it out now.
Alan
Rivera told me I don't pay her enough for this. Hi.
Brian Walker said hey.
B.
Okay, so
did y'all have a good weekend?
I did. Did you?
Yeah.
I went to the pumpkin patch yesterday. I went to a pumpkin patch that has the word plantation in its name.
Really?
In the South.
So how did you feel about it?
So I'm growing. Yeah.
But you also went to a spa that had all white people on the wall.
What?
Didn't you?
Wait. Oh, that one place. That was the resort, for school. I forgot about that. It had all the white presidents, but not Barack Obama.
That part. Let's talk about
how
that.
How they forget my uncle?
And so I was what I told Shani was, I said at first I thought it was only the dead presidents, but Carter was up there. So him not dead.
He's not.
He's very much alive and still alive. Sunday school, y'all.
Yeah, him and his wife just celebrated the anniversary. At least that's what I read.
Studio audience right now.
That is crazy.
It's okay. They're giving their feedback.
That's right.
Yeah. It's what is the name of that place? The Jefferson? I don't know. I'll find it. I don't really want to. I'm not into blasting. They didn't do anything wrong. I didn't have a negative experience.
Right.
But it's out there in Hot Spring or Warm Spring, Virginia. One of them springs. I don't know. Way out there. Yeah, I went. It was for school. I had a conference. And when and this was during the time that Sandra Bland was killed, and so I was driving through the western parts of Virginia, not West Virginia, just the western parts, a lot of mountains and Confederate flags, and I was by myself. And when I had arrived, I remember I thought I could feel relief until I walked inside and I saw all the white presidents on the wall, and I was like, oh, maybe not yet. Yeah. Maybe not
today.
But I did have a pleasant experience. I did not feel any underlying color issues.
Okay, that's good.
But the closest thing to like Black staff was biracial people. That's just very new for me. Very new for me. And but I did have a good time, and it's like one of the best spots I've ever gone to in my entire life. So,
well, listen,
and they are
like
rated, like their spa is rated up there. It's a 5-star
really?
spot. Yeah, and I can see why. Yes.
I mean, I was saying all that to say that you have definitely been in.
I've had my experiences.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm.
So, Tiana, if you don't know, I have this thing of like, there are certain words that trigger. Plantation is one of those words, right? And I know that it doesn't mean slavery, but it's associated with it. I tend to avoid it. I do. I tend to avoid it.
It's just like Confederate flags. That's I don't look at a Confederate flag as being part of history.
What?
Being part of your culture.
Explain that one. Say that again.
Okay, you said
like the word plantation does not mean slavery, right? It's just a large land or mean state.
Slavery, but I think of slavery when I hear the word plantation.
That's what I mean.
Right.
The same way I think of what I think of when I see or hear the word Confederate flag. It might not, a lot of people might want to sit there and say it might not mean you're not racist. But when I see a Confederate flag,
how did it start?
I think of racism.
How did it start?
How did it start?
The Confederate flag. It was created when?
It was created when the Union, they didn't want to expand slavery, and then the South wanted to.
So it does mean slavery.
Yes, it was all about slavery.
Right, but plantation's not. It's just associated with it. Confederate flag is. It is a symbol of it. You get what I'm saying?
So
it's like sugar cane
plantations. Were there any plantations that didn't have slaves?
Yes, ma'am. There were.
Okay.
Yeah, there were. But we will all digress. It was a pleasant time. They was making bank though. Like, so I usually go to Cox Farms, which is out in Centerville, and they're a Black Lives Matter supporter, and you could feel the Black Lives Matter support there. It's family friendly, price is good, and you don't have to. I just felt like I was nickel and dimed on everything. Like the one that I went to yesterday.
That's what we do. That's what we do sometimes, No,
not at the Cox Farms, the other one.
Oh.
And the one I went to yesterday, I was like, dang, are we at an amusement park? Like everything costs. I paid to get in here and everything costs. Yeah. But my daughter and her friend, they had a good time.
That's good.
It was like a family thing. It was my coworker, with her family, her husband and her children, and it was me, my husband, and my daughter. We had a good time. Sometimes that was all of our first time like meeting together. So I think it went very well. We'll do it again. Yeah, maybe not there, but we'll meet again.
Right.
Yeah. And then Saturday, what did I do on Saturday? Oh, Saturday was my event. So I had the Create and Sip, which went very well. I tried to sprinkle a little bit, when we had to pull out the gazebo. But other than that, it went well. No complaints. I had a very full weekend. My muscles hurt a whole lot. I had boot camp on Friday. I did not stretch after. I don't know what I was thinking, but I didn't stretch after. Saturday, I was moving a lot of heavy stones and bricks. Do y'all remember that Michael Jackson American Dream movie? The first one, not all the ones that came out like after he was dead, but remember that one?
The one where Lawrence played the daddy?
Yes, exactly. All right, y'all remember when Joseph made them boys move those stones for no reason? From one spot to the other and then back again. That's what I was doing on Saturday.
Moving stones for no reason.
Moving stones.
Why?
Because they were in the wrong spot.
So it was a reason.
It was a reason.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a reason, but they went to 6 different spots probably for no reason. I just couldn't figure out where I wanted them. So I was like, well, they don't look good here and it's going to kill the grass. So I would pick them up and put them over there. And then I would be like, but that's an eyesore. I would pick them up and put them somewhere else.
Wow.
I hurt. Yeah. So that's enough about my weekend.
I had a good weekend. I didn't move no stones.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that
yeah,
was my workout for the day. So. I'm trying to get fit, get my guns back. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right.
Right? Like I'm trying to find an 18-year-old Mika again. I do believe I can get back there. It's taking a while, but I think I can get back there. Or like maybe like 19 Mika. I'll take 21-year-old Mika, right? It's just
listen.
like, I'm only comparing myself to myself. People got a lot to say about it though. Yeah, it is, you'll never get back there. You had a child. Hush your mouth. I've seen it done.
Yeah.
Put your fear on me because you don't look the way you want to look. You gonna tell me I can't look the way I want to look?
Exactly. Come on, business.
Right.
I want to introduce our guests to our viewers to our special guest tonight. Tiana T. Goodwin is creator of the Divine Connections Agency, educator, serial entrepreneur, branding strategist, which you can tell by her headshot. Like, I already know the vibe I'm gonna get when I see somebody's headshot. And I was just like, oh yes, she got the dream like Martin shirt on with the army fatigue. Let's go. Right. And so she has a heart of gold and changes lives on a daily with every person she encounters. She lives by this great quote: your mind is a powerful thing. When you fill it up with positive thoughts, your life will start to change. She is honestly a mogul in the making. Yo, we're talking to a mogul right now, y'all. So I just
That's right. That's what
remember when you first saw her.
Facts.
Tiana, can you tell us a little bit about yourself in your own words?
Oh my goodness. Like she said, like a mogul in the making. I was born a creative and living a creative's life. That's basically what I do. My mind goes nonstop all day, every day. But I love what I do. When people like hear about my background, and I'm a public health major, both bachelor's and master's degree, they're like, how did you get here? You know, I always had a love for people. Growing up, I tutored kids. My mom had her own tutoring program. She worked at my elementary school. So we was always big on education. Nobody ever said how I would be educating people, but education would be the lane that I would fortunately fall into. So I worked in education in a nonprofit. I worked corporate education. And then one day I was just like, I'm going to leave my job. So I left my job back in like 2016. I said, man, I got to rock out this full-time entrepreneurship life and don't know what's going to come my way. And if anybody ever wants to do it, don't let nobody tell you that it's not hard, because it is. And then, you know what, I did that, but I left to do event planning. That was my first passion. I had my own event planning service, and I would plan weddings and birthdays and all that other kind of stuff. And then I got tired of that. I got tired of it. It was just too much. It's a lot when you have somebody else's stuff on your shoulders. So it's like, oh, I don't want to do this no more. So I got into graphics, and that's how we pretty much got to the Divine Connections Agency. My mom knew exactly what she was doing when she planted that seed when I was 8 years old, and she bought me my first computer. And I was just into graphics the whole entire time doing. I was like, oh, you know, let me try this thing. You know, I'm having events. I gotta do graphics for like table setups and invitations and things of that sort. And I'm like, oh, I kind of like doing this. So I did that for a while, and then I said, oh, you know what? This is a lot too. This is a lot too. Let me switch it up on them real quick. So then that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to just start doing some consulting, teaching people how to build their brand identity around their businesses. And that's where we are today with the Divine Connections Agency.
I love it. I love that journey. And also, I think everybody starts off in event planning for some reason. But then we realized, because I had an event planning company. Well, my sister still does it, but child, people don't first. Okay, can I talk frankly? Especially when it comes to the catering part, the food part.
As a personal chef, I'm probably got a lot of input on that.
Huh?
Yeah.
As a personal chef, I have a lot of input on
So they like I want they give you all this stuff that they want you to cook
for $500.
What's your budget? But do you know how much chicken costs, though?
Honey, especially now.
Because my homie gave me the hookup.
That part.
Yep.
Well, I'm not the homie, so
tell your homie to cook.
You want to figure this out,
right?
Saying.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So it was,
little budgets.
Yes, little budgets, modest budgets.
On
champagne taste.
Not champagne taste.
That part.
Champagne.
But so Tiana, I love the trajectory of your story. I mean, because I think what about branding is like is just speaking to you, because a lot of people they think they know about brands, but
absolutely not.
Like when you say brand identity, like can you define that for those?
Yes, ma'am. I definitely can. So a lot of us, when we're in business or about to embark on a new business, we hear the words brand and then we hear the words brand identity. A lot of people don't use brand identity unless they're in my industry, like doing consulting, doing creative direction, like that kind of stuff. So people will overall hear branding all the time. Branding is the experience someone has with a business that make them come back. That's basically what it is. And that, like she said, like that spy, she wasn't feeling that name in there, but guess what? She had a good experience and she'll always remember that. So if she feels like referring somebody to that business, she can. But when we talk about brand identity, this is what people see and associate that with you, or your business. So, you have your logos, you have your business cards, you have your website, you have your social media. Those are the things that can be tangible or intangible that will create that brand identity for a brand. Just like when we see that Nike check, we know it's Nike. When we see that flag from Checkers or Riley's, we know that's what it is, So it's just those specific things that stands out that makes that brand so amazing, and we know exactly what it is. So that's that brand identity. But like branding is the experience. People create that experience. Like I tell people all the time, when I have a client that's like maybe setting up a photo shoot, I'm getting to know the individual. One, I want to know why you're in business. Like people just don't understand. Like I need to know the why behind it, because I've actually talked people out of business before. And people be like, what? And I'm like, yes, because if I can save you a couple dollars because this is something that you're not passionate about, I might as well just stop you right now. Like, no, why set yourself up for failure when you can be purposeful somewhere else? So I tell people all the time, when I'm setting up, let's say for a photo shoot, I want to know why the person is in business. What's the client's favorite snacks? Do they have favorite beverages, alcoholic, non-alcoholic? What's their kind of favorite music, all that kind of stuff. Because you know why? When we're at the photo shoot, I'm playing a whole playlist that I put together just for them, that they can have after the shoot. I have a basket full of their favorite snacks, juices, candies, whatever it is. And that is presented to them along with a thank you card and a coupon code. So it's like, you want to create that experience, because guess what? They can be like, you know what? I might have had a rough day just getting here to this photo shoot, but I'm going to refer you to that person because this experience was amazing. So it's that branding that really ties in everything with a brand or a business.
I love that. Talk to me about purpose. You got it on your shirt.
Yes.
And it's all written in your bio. Why is purpose so connected to your brand?
Oh my goodness. I tell people all the time, I do everything for a purpose and with a purpose. Everything that I do, of course, I pray about that, because I don't want to be making no judgment, no decisions or nothing if I ain't talk to the big dog, so we have to have a conversation before I embark on anything. Like I tell people, when you have a business, you can pick your own clients. It's okay to say no sometimes. If someone want to inquire about services and you feel like the energy not right, it's okay to say, we got to pass, but I can refer you to this person. But purpose is really big with me. I tell people all the time I had a very interesting journey just getting to where I am today. And it all started back when I was 23. My mom passed away. So I tell people all the time, I was a caregiver growing up. And I was the only child, okay, of course, growing up in a single parent home. So it was like, okay, who am I as an individual? Because I've always grown up taking care of other people. When we look into the mirror, some people will see just themselves. Me, I saw me with a whole bunch of other people because I had no real identity. And I didn't find that until I got older. And I would say maybe around like 27, 28, I really had to take a step back and stop questioning God and then figure out like, how am I going to fix myself? Like, how can I fix this so I don't, break relationships, whether it's with opposite sex or, with friends or with family or whatever. And I'm like, I need to understand why I'm here. Like, why did God make me take care of my mom for so long and then take her away from me? And then I thought about it like, oh, now he wants me to have a life. He said, hold up, sis. I need you to figure out who you are. So I had to tap into this thing called purpose that I wear all the time and say all the time. And really understand who I am as an individual. And it's still a journey that I'm taking now. Every day I'm still learning new things about myself. What I like, what I don't like, people I like, people I don't like. And it's just an ongoing journey. It's what sets that foundation. But if I didn't go through those things as a young adult or as a child, I wouldn't have stepped into my purpose, because those are the things that build the foundation. They build on top of the foundation and they make us who we are today.
Yeah. I resonate everything that you're saying. I'm an only child. I was an only child, lost my mother at 30.
Wow.
And I felt like, I felt like that's when I had to grow up. Like, even though I was 30, like, I was like, okay, so my mama not here no more. Like, what am I gonna do? Right? Like,
what am I gonna do?
I mean, because I talk to her like every day, like, right? And so I'm resonating with everything. And I feel like I didn't figure out purpose until after she died. Right? Like, until after she died, became this like, number one, I have to get myself together, even though I know that she was proud of me before she left, but just to honor her, legacy, honor her as my only parent, honor everything that she taught me, right? And it's funny because I always have a story about something my mother taught me, even 14 years later.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute, I just had a birthday 16 years later. I'm like, wait a minute, Shani, do the math. Okay. And I think about, so a friend of mine told me, she's like, I never met your mom, but in your stories, she would be so proud of you. Right. And I think that's part, I mean, outside of my children, I know that's what's driving me. And I know that's what my purpose is also tied into making her proud even after death.
Yes. Gotta keep making mama proud. You have to. You have to. When I get that same situation, like how you said, like, there's people who come up to me and be like, see, I never met your mom, but your mom must have been popping, because the way you talk about her, the stories that you talk about, she must have been decent.
Right. I mean, like, and like, we all have our, our childhood trauma and all of that, right? But like overall, and then like the older I get and the more I experience just as a parent myself, I'm like, has opened my eyes to why things happen now. Like, I understand why certain decisions were made that I probably didn't understand 20 years ago.
Exactly.
Right. But I understand them now, being in the thick of it. Right. Like, I mean, I don't want to get in trouble, because I have 4 children and 2 of them don't like me talking about them. But my oldest said something, my oldest girl said something to me today that triggered me. Like, so like, I'm gonna have to go call my therapist tomorrow. Try to break this down. Like, why did this bother me? Right? Like, but
Right.
I'm understanding. But the grace that I have is like, child, wait, I just be like, I pray I'm here when your child 20. I just pray.
Ooh.
Pray
Mhm.
that. Pray that prayer because things hit different once you go through things. It's just
No, that's the truth.
you know,
That's the
like
truth.
so. Mika, I'm going back to you because we didn't do a wellness whisper
Last week or today?
today.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about plantations and pumpkins.
Right.
And
I don't. You usually come back to it.
and
So
rapists. I know. I was just making sure that it was
we
in
was
the
talking about
forefront of our
Oh,
mind.
Columbus. Yeah. I was like, we was talking about rapists. We did. Okay.
Ooh.
It's,
This is it's called the Sharing with Shani show.
It is.
We got. I was about to say it's the Keep It 100 show, but
it's that too.
I mean, yes,
Yes.
it's the Be Yourself show.
Call a spade a spade.
Yes, all of that.
You know, before I do the whisper, I read this thing and it really made me think. I don't know, somewhere on Instagram land. So, you know, I'm not trying to take anybody's credit. If y'all know who said it first, give it to them. But they were just like, you know, the problem is slavery is being taught as Black history and not white history.
I saw that too.
Yeah. And that kind of, you know, that moved me in a certain way. And I was like, right. Yeah, what are we doing about that?
Yes.
But it also leads me back to that, you know, that what do you call those, like proverb? I guess a proverb. Yeah, I was gonna say parable, but that's not it. That's the Bible. Proverb, where it's like you know, in the stories, right? Like the hunter, if the hunter writes a story, the hunter is glorified. And so, you know, we're not writing enough of our own stories. Still, we got to get on it. Let's go. Black authors, let's go. All right.
Yeah.
So the whisper. So last week it was stand in faith. And this week is like, and don't be moved. You know, we stand up and we sit down for whatever reasons. We get scared. And I'm still being tested, y'all. So like this is probably for me more than it is for anybody else, but right. And don't be moved. It's important that you don't be moved.
Right.
And I feel like we go through all of this, right? Like, okay, let's just think about natural life. You're born, you crawl, you walk, go to school. Some of us do advanced education, higher education, whatever you want to call it. And then what? So for the ones who are trying to figure out and then what, right? Like they're scared, they have questions. But usually what in my experience, you know, talking to people, what kind of pushes them a little bit is understanding that they've trained for this. All that time you was in school, right? Learning and living was for this very moment, right? The launching of your new business, applying for your, you know, the first job in your field, whatever it might be. You're ready, right? Like you've been getting ready for it. And so, but when you look at it, it look a little scary, like, but wait, hold on, hold it. I wasn't quite ready. I wasn't really ready, but you are ready. You have absolutely everything that you need to do it.
Right.
And whatever you don't have already, it's in you to get it, right? To create it, manifest it, whatever. And so I heard Shani when you said, you know, when your mom passed at 30, you had to grow up. It's that kind of a situation. Like you're looking out at the rest of your life going, whoa.
Right.
I've been talking all this time. Now here it is. And so I do feel like with faith, it's the same thing. All those Bible studies, all those Sunday mornings, and whatever else is that you've been doing, prayer circles, scripture readings, read the Bible in 365, whatever. I haven't done that yet, but whatever it is that you're doing, like you're ready for this. So we talk a lot. We talk a lot of talk. And so last week when it was standing in faith, and like I said, I think this is more for me than anybody else, but this is what I've been compelled to say. I was going through something. I was faced with something. I was presented with something, and I'm not at liberty to talk about it yet. But y'all know, you'll hear it soon enough. So, it's scary. It's a very scary thing in a manner that the decision that I made, when I made it, it was like, did I realize it was gonna have this type of fallout? No. Yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna go over well, but I made it, and okay. But it's like it's still playing out because the other side hasn't responded yet. So now you're just like waiting in limbo. And so the part that I, challenge myself to do, like I have to say it out loud when I say like I have faith in the creator. I have faith in the creator. I keep saying it because not that I'm trying to convince myself, but like I'm trying to activate that faith, because there are moments, where it's just like, ooh, it's quiet. Lord, what you doing?
Right.
Right. Like, all right, the not knowing, the silence, is I think the time when like the enemy can go buck wild. And that silence, like you have your thoughts. That's why a lot of people can't do meditation, because your thoughts are really loud, and so you start to get in your head and you just start telling yourself things. So I break the silence by just talking to myself, and I'll say, all right, you got this, you're faithful, you've been training, you've been here before, maybe not in the same exact situation, right, but the same principle. So what you doing, right? Like, stand up, don't be moved, it's gonna be okay. So that's the whisper, don't be moved. It's and don't be moved.
Okay? Stand up and don't be moved.
No. Last week was stand in faith.
Oh.
Today is and don't be moved. Yes.
Got you.
Yeah.
Tiana, can we talk about Purposely Bossing Up podcast?
Yes, girl, we sure can, girl.
Tell me about the podcast. Like, how you been? What is it about? How do you listen to it? How often do you air? Are you looking for guests? All of that good stuff.
Yes. So Purposely Bossing Up, that's like my child. That's like my second kid, because Divine Connections is my first kid. This is my second kid. It was basically birthed out of me being nosy all the time. When I was in college, people used to call me Wendy Williams. They used to be like, girl, you know all the information, you know all the tea. Of course, it wasn't like bad tea, but it was like, you know everything, girl. Like, dang, what you don't know, or who you don't know. So back in, let's say, 2017, I had met up with some publicists and those who do PR at a networking event. And I had got real close with this girl named Portia. Oh, I love Portia. That's like my mentor. I tell her all the time. Like, anytime I talk about my podcast, I have to talk about her, because if she didn't put that little inkling in my ear, I wouldn't have a podcast. So she had already had her podcast going. And she was like, yeah, girl, I do this, I do that. I'm going to send you these documents. You should have these documents in place and all this stuff. I'm like, oh, this is like for real. Like, this is like for real. So I sat down and I was like, okay, I can do this. And I said, dang, but I need a name. So I said, okay. So I told my little sister, she also does event planning as well. And I'm like, girl, you got to help me come up with the name of this podcast. I said, well, I want to do something around purpose. Like, why do people do things that they do? And then I was like, she was like, well, yeah, you always talking about being a boss and all this other stuff. So then we slept on it. And the next morning I woke up and she had texted me and she was like, call it Purposely Bossing Up. So
I like
that's what we got, and that's what we stuck with. So that is just it's just amazing, the conversations that I have on here. So when I put the mission together for Purposely Bossing Up, it was basically to help my listeners and viewers, because we do an IG series, unveil their inner boss. And it doesn't have to be just in business, but also in life. People have to understand that we make executive decisions in our lives. We have to we do things that dictate how the next thing is going to go. Like, we are bosses in our own lives. It doesn't always have to be business oriented. So I always have guests come on there and I ask them like series of questions, and it's like how we're doing it on open conversation. And as I furthered in my podcast life, I realized that I had to switch some things up. Like how we talked earlier, you had to vet your guests, because some people actually just want to be on the platform just to say they were on there. They don't really want to like really be embedded in a conversation and really feel like they can take those gems and those nuggets and share it with others.
Right.
Some people just do it for show. So
Yeah.
I had to get rid of those people and get a new set of people. So in season 3, because I'm actually about to come up on season 4 next month, I said I need to really figure out how I can build some real structure with the podcast. Not saying I didn't have it, but I wanted to be like conversational structure. So what I did was that I started themed months. So each month is a theme. I usually run it from November to April. Then I do 2 months of IG series, and then I go on a break because I get tired of talking sometimes, you know. So, you know, we go on a little breaky break and then we come back in November again. But yeah, so we have all kinds of guests. I've had regular entrepreneurs come on here, all the way to Robert Cool from Cool in the Game. So it's just like you have a series of individuals, and we talk about like bossing up in entertainment, bossing up in cannabis, bossing up in literacy and education. Like it's different, you know, themes and things that sort. Like this set of themes coming up for this season are going to be amazing. I'm super excited about it. But so we also do a little portion where Purposely Bossing Up goes to other people events. So I always tell people that if you have a platform, you can pitch your platform as a media platform. So Purposely Bossing Up has been at the Emmys. We've done red carpet virtually for the Emmys. We have done people's personal events, brunches, things of that sort, where they want to highlight their special guests or their keynote speakers. So we show up anywhere. As long as it aligns with what I do, we can show up. So we've been there. So the podcast is just everywhere. You can listen to it on all podcast platforms. Even Audible is on Audible. So you can listen to it on there. Of course, your iHeart, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, all those places. And am I currently looking for guests? Not at this current moment, but in November, I will be putting another call out for speakers, bossing up at entertainment. That is the focus. And we do 2 IG lives and 2 pre-recorded episodes. I changed it up a little bit this season because I'm doing so much content creation that I don't want to, you know, slim back on that all the way or just not do a season at all. So I just scaled back a little bit so I could fit both in.
Nice. And how do people, if people are looking for a brand strategist or they're looking for content creation, how do they get in contact with you?
They can hit me up on the gram. Hit me up on the gram at the Tiana Experience. I'm the only Tiana Experience on Instagram. So as soon as you type in the and then TIJ, it'll show right up.
It sure will. That's how I found it.
It will show right up. Or people can email me at hello@TD as in dog, C as in cat -agency.com.
Awesome. Okay. I want to switch gears for a second because I like rapid fire questions.
Okay.
When are you most productive?
When I'm asleep.
Who is your inspiration and why?
My inspiration is you know what? My inspiration is Michelle Obama. Not because she's my auntie, but because she don't take no mess. And I'm just like that. You know, when we don't tolerate no mess. We don't tolerate no mess.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
What's something new happening in your life right now?
I have a living boyfriend.
Your favorite cake flavor?
Chocolate.
How do you start your day?
Prayer.
These are good. Mika, I'm about to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Cat or dog?
Dog.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Somewhere in the Southwest.
What would you change about yourself?
Like
I know,
physically, but anything.
It just says, what would you change about yourself?
I would be like 2 inches taller.
Why?
Because I'm one of the shortest people in my family, and
How
I just
tall are
feel
you? You're
zipped.
taller than me.
I'm 5'7".
Girl, you can take 2 inches
3
from me.
inches. You're 3 inches taller than me.
It's okay. Everybody is 5'9" and above. I just feel short.
Oh, you're the point guard.
Wow.
Yes, I am.
What would you change about yourself, Tiana?
I wouldn't say I would want to be shorter. Ain't that funny? I want to be shorter just so I can have access to other clothes that I don't have to buy and tall and long all the time. A lot of stores don't have tall and long.
They don't. But then they don't have petite either.
Right. No, that is true. A lot of places don't have petite. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I think I would probably want to be like 2 inches shorter. So we can swap. I mean, we can
How tall
always
are
get on
you?
the table.
How
Tiana, how
5'10".
tall are you? You
Oh, she's
5'10"?
I'm
5'10".
5'10".
Okay.
How tall is your boyfriend, if I can ask?
6'3".
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's a nice combination. No offense to the short guys, but
right.
That height,
Is B tall? He looks tall. He looks like he's at least 6 feet.
He's taller than me. I think he's about 5'11", but I'm
Okay.
short. So
Okay.
I just want to look up to it. I want to look up,
Right.
but he likes when I wear heels.
Mm-hmm.
But if I wear heels, then I'm a
little more even.
I'm at his height.
Okay.
Mm.
My first boyfriend was 6'3". I remember that.
Wow.
Not my
I
first
love
boyfriend. The
tall
first
people.
guy I dated, not my first boyfriend. The first guy I dated was 6'3", and I remember like,
Pause.
you are tall.
What's the difference between boyfriend and dating?
We weren't a couple. We just went out on dates.
They were just dating. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
high
I
school.
can dig
He
it.
wasn't my boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And Tracy didn't allow me to have a boyfriend, so I had to fix that. She might be listening tonight. No, seriously, he wasn't my boyfriend. My first boyfriend, I think, was exactly 6 feet. He wanted to be taller, but he was exactly 6 feet.
Wow.
6 feet is a good height for a guy, though.
I think he's kind of like me.
Yeah,
His family was tall, so he was just like,
he was coming in short.
Yeah, dreams of being a ball player, all that good stuff, you know.
Wow.
My kids are taller.
I think tall women get a bad. I've heard very negative things said about tall women, like, oh, she's too tall. Well, I don't even know what that means, but how are you blaming me for my height, though?
Thanks.
Do you have an issue with your height? Yeah, I think that comes from men that have an issue with their height, though.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of things come from men
insecurities. It's a patriarchal society.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
As a therapist, my friend prayed for me last week, y'all, and one of the things that she prayed, and I'm not going to share because prayer is very intimate for me. I'm not going to share all of it, but one of the things that she prayed was, you know, that God just kind of help release me from the things that I receive in therapy as a therapist. And of course I know that to be true, but I feel like it's been a long time since I prayed that, if I even prayed it that way, but I was so grateful and maybe even pleasantly surprised that somebody else noticed, first of all, right? Like there is a lot of energy exchange, but as a therapist, you receive a lot. And sometimes that reception, I have to pray that I don't have an attitude, because I can get an attitude at some of the things that I hear, especially in couples counseling with some of these men. I just be like, what? Who raised you? Where is your mama, your sister, your auntie, your grandma? Where are the women in your life who hurt you? Who hurt you? But, you know, patriarchy, like my daily goal is just to confuse the patriarchy.
No, that's right. Put that on put that on a t-shirt.
Just-
Yeah,
My daily
mean-
goal is to give. I would wear that
Okay,
I was too.
I'll send you one.
because it's real.
It is real, and it's
Everywhere.
Yep.
even in women, right?
Yeah.
Even in women.
And
Yep.
and I feel like those are the ones that I want to start with. I want to start with the women because maybe I feel like with the men it's a lost cause. But if I can reach one woman and she raised her son to be just a little bit different, then I feel like we have a
Say something.
chance. It's like all mamas of boys, I'd be like, please understand you are raising someone's husband.
Yes.
Don't repeat that
Yes.
cycle. Please don't do it. All the things that you are upset about with your man, past man, husband, whatever, right? Look at your son and remember all those things and just make different decisions. Please, for the sake of humanity.
But so I watch a lot of reality TV. That's my decompression.
Yeah.
After I do this all day, Tiana, I don't know if you knew this, but like my day job is so when Mika talks about patriarchy, like I coach white ministry leaders on how to fight racism.
What?
That's what I do all day.
No, that's her
Is
real
you
job.
telling a story?
That's her real job.
So
Wow.
I definitely find areas where I need, like, I have to separate my reality and by doing so I watch reality because that is
Right.
fantasy for me. That's like, this is not real, right?
It helps you definitely vent some things, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I say all that to say I can't remember what reality show I was watching. It could be Family or Fiance. It could have been, I don't know. But all I remember is, I think it might have been Family or Fiance. But basically, this engaged couple come on the show, and they have y'all seen the show before? So I'll give you.
I haven't heard of it either.
Quick tutorial. So an engaged couple comes on the show with a therapist. Mika, you could have been a therapist. And they bring 3 family members from each side of the family on to this house for 4 days to try to work out why the family members don't think that they should get married.
Okay.
And then at the end of the 4 days, they have to poll the family members to get a blessing. Okay. So this particular episode during dinner, the guy says, Ashley, we'll call her Ashley for the sake of this story. Ashley doesn't, leaves her clothes all over the place. She doesn't pick up after herself. That's just how she was raised, right? She didn't have responsibility. Now, he was very blunt in the way he was speaking, but the mother, Ashley's mom, got very, very upset and was like, that's not a slight. It's like, I'm not saying that she was I didn't raise my child to be messy. It got really heated over the dinner table. But what he was saying, when I think they weren't hearing, is that, like, she never had responsibility. Like, she never had to be told to clean up or never given like chores, because she was like the only girl in the house. She was the youngest, and everybody did everything for her. And that's now carried out into the relationship. And in this very moment, I don't even know why I'm telling this story. It has nothing to
Patriarchy?
do with, no, is it? I thought I was going there, and I'm like, Shani, tie it back to the topic.
It's okay.
And I don't have no tie. It's just hanging.
Well, don't leave me hanging. What happened with Ashley?
Right.
Was it family or fiance?
It was they ended up they did get the blessing, because they realized, because they thought that the fiance was just like brash and didn't talk and talk down to Ashley a lot. But he was just, and he said he was going to work on his tone, but he was just very matter of fact.
Okay. Did it bother Ashley?
No.
Or only her family?
Only her family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I never heard of that show.
Yeah, come on, y'all. It's good. It's good.
Oh, okay. I don't really like shows like that because I feel like I don't care about everybody else's opinion.
I watch shows like that to be like, I'm glad I ain't going through that.
Yeah, that's true too. Like you watch 90 Day Fiance?
Yeah, I watched that.
I have watched that.
I've seen it when it first came on, like maybe like 4 episodes, and I just remember going, "Who signed up for this?"
Yes,
it's
crazy.
It. But maybe it's because I was
crazy.
already married. I wonder if I wasn't married, would I still have that same opinion?
You might not. I think you might. It might be different. But you want to know a true story? I want like Black. Do y'all watch Black Love, or have you watched Black Love?
I love Black Love.
Yes,
I've been watching Black Love. Since
Black Love convinced me that I was not in the right marriage.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you.
And it was over like a period of time. It wasn't like just immediately.
Right.
But I was sitting there in my previous marriage, and I was like, "You want to watch this show with me?"
Oh, that sounds
absolutely
like a setup.
not. Huh?
That sounds like a setup.
Right? Absolutely not. Right? So then it was on one day, and he was in the room and watching it. He's like, and he basically said all the men were whack for the show, right?
Oh, shoot.
All the men were whack and da-da-da-da-da. And this is not how real men think. This is what okay. Yeah. And I got to thinking, and it wasn't like immediately when he said this. This was over time, and then it was a lot of therapy. But because I kept bringing up the show in my therapy sessions, and finally my therapist was like, "Why is this show resonating with you? What like we got to break this down like an onion, right?" Mm-hmm. And what resonated with me at the time was that every single one of those men wanted to be married and wanted to marry their wife. Mm-hmm. Like they asked for her hand in marriage. Mm-hmm. And that was the light bulb. Mm-hmm. And so I get a lot from some reality shows.
Hey, listen, we all do from time to time. Like, dang, what am I not doing right? Hold up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen reality TV in a while though. I was I watching it before? I'm trying to remember like when I let go of cable. I feel like I was watching it after. The last reality show I watched was the Braxtons, because everybody know by now I love me some Braxton, love me some Tony. I think that's the last one I watched.
Loves Tony Braxton too.
I love Tony Braxton.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep putting it out there. Tony Michelle and Tamika Michelle will connect one day. Okay.
Yes, they will.
That's over here.
Put it out in the universe.
Yeah.
Just like I'm gonna meet Tiana one day in person.
Yes.
At an event. We could just go up to Philly. Tiana, that should have been on my rapid fire question. Best place to go get a cheesesteak.
The Poppy store.
The Poppy store?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's called?
No, we call it the Poppy store. It's usually like your corner store.
Oh.
The bodega.
Yes.
Yeah,
like them big places a lot of people name all the time, but I get some of my best cheesesteaks from the corner store.
I know that's right.
I'm not going to go spend $10 for a cheesesteak all the time when I can go get a cheesesteak with French fries, crinkle cut, because I prefer crinkle cut, for $5.
Crinkle cut tastes different, don't it?
Woo, girl.
Don't let nobody tell you different. Crinkle cut tastes different.
Crinkle cut fries.
It's a whole debate in this house. It's all a potato. Don't do that. It's not a crinkle cut potato. And it tastes different.
It do.
My
I do. I
husband.
do
It's
believe
my
that.
husband. I don't understand why he does these things, but
Where is your
crinkle cut
husband?
tastes
Is he
better.
from this area?
No, he's from North Carolina.
Uh,
Yeah, he's from North Carolina.
he's country.
I mess with him
He's
a lot
country.
of times. I'd be
I
like,
don't think she
dill,
heard me.
what I say? I heard you. Dill pickle or kosher pickle. It's all a pickle, right?
No, it's not.
It's
No,
There
all
it's
a
not.
pickle.
a kosher
Mm-mm.
pickle and a dill pickle are two
I don't know. They all nasty. It's not an argument I'm
like
having.
pickles? What?
It's disgusting. It's
Mika,
not even an argument.
Mika
Don't laugh at
fresh.
me, Tiana.
Oh
It's,
God.
pickles are disgusting.
I disagree.
You
It
can. It
depends.
is totally okay.
It depends.
So disgusting. And anything pickle related, that includes relish. My mom used to torture me with relish. That is her favorite.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. Don't take her black card. And does anybody make potato salad with relish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so nasty. That is so
And then
nasty.
like the old time like Southerners
nasty.
cut up pickles. Have you seen
That
that?
is
Yes, they
absolutely disgusting.
They cut up,
That's
I
the
mean,
truth.
chop it real fine.
See, I guess that's why I'm from New Jersey, because I would have just been hungry. It's so nasty. Ugh. Hot dogs.
Oh.
That's a rapid fire. Relish or sauerkraut? Sauerkraut.
Ugh.
Well,
Ketchup
you
or
know what?
mustard? Mustard.
I,
The brown one.
No, I like brown mustard. I like
Deli
brown, but I like
mustard.
ketchup too.
but
On my
you
hot
know,
dog,
don't
I
put
want
ketchup
mustard and
on my hot
sauerkraut.
dogs. Tiana, where'd you go to
What?
college? Did you go to college?
She said-
Oh.
You just offended her.
What?
You say you don't put ketchup on your hot dogs, and she
hot
said,
dog.
"What?"
Mm-mm.
I don't eat hot dogs anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we just
I got a
plant
couple
breaks.
friends that don't eat hot dogs. Yeah.
If I were gonna eat one, it would be a Nathan's hot dog, though.
Oh, it's the only
Oh
kind. Or
yeah,
Hebrew
for sure.
National.
Hebrew National. There you go.
Mhm.
Kosher.
But I like Dietz and Watson though. I like Dietz and Watson. They
I've
hot dogs
had
are
a
pretty
Dietz
good.
and Watson hot dog
okay.
before. I
It's
have.
okay.
It's,
I feel
it's
like they're
definite-
new to the hot dog
it's
game, and they have some
definite-
catching up to do.
You said they're new to the hot dog game.
That's what it feels like. Yeah. It's just,
I
Man.
can't wait to get off this conversation because I am going to write that on my Facebook post. So if you can watch a news to the hot dog game or no.
Yes. Ask the question. That's the question of the day.
I'm sorry.
Is Dietz and Watson? I think they're a Philly. That's a Philly-based company.
Yeah, I think so. If I'm
Because
not
that's all.
mistaken,
I
think
see
is.
it a lot more in like Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I think it might be a Philly business. I'm gonna look into that because I think it might be.
I think so too.
I think it might be.
Did you go to college in Philly, Tiana?
Well, it's right outside of Philly, like a good 45 minutes outside of Philly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I decided to stay closer to home. I didn't want to go to school in the city. I could have went to school in the city, but I chose not to. I wanted to kind of like be away, but not be away.
Mm-hmm.
What
So
school
at
did you
least
go
I
to?
can be. I went to Westchester University. I went to
Oh, I've heard of it.
Westchester,
Okay.
and then I went to St. Joe's for my master's degree.
Okay.
Yep.
It shows.
Yeah. St.
I should have went
Joe's.
away for college. But
You
see, I say
should've?
that, and then I guess Halo would not be here. Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like in raising her, I would encourage her to travel, go away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's so much to see.
I think traveling is a very good educator.
It
Mhm.
is.
But I don't want
Mhm.
her to be so. But I feel like she ain't gonna go nowhere. Halo is attached unless something changes in the next few years. I feel like she's gonna be like, "Can I go to college right down the street?" No, girl,
Oh
go
no,
away.
girl.
As
bye.
long as you're on campus.
I want her. Yeah, I just feel like there's a different life experience that you have
Mhm.
Definitely.
that you kind of can't go back to as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like you can
Right.
always go back and get your degree, but like a 30-year-old living on campus, they're like, that's
No, absolutely
that's
not.
not gonna happen today.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You can't relive you just can't create certain things at a certain age.
Right.
That's right.
But I would want her to at least try it, and if she decides it's not for her, then great, it's not for her. But like, don't be afraid to
Yeah,
try those types of things.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Tiana, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Mika, thank you for joining us tonight.
No problem.
Can you repeat the whisper?
Yes, and don't be moved.
What?
And don't be moved.
Okay, I thought I heard an S, and I got confused. And I
was
was like,
about to say it. He was like, wait now.
Right.
I was like,
We
don't
went through
be
this earlier.
don't be mused. I was
No,
like,
don't
I
be
thought it was moved.
And don't be moved.
Right.
This is the Sharon with Shani show, highlighting ordinary people working for extraordinary God. We had 2 shows left for the month of October. We are booked through 2021. 2022 calendar is now open. Join us next week for April Fourier. I think it's Fourier, but it's Fore. Would you pronounce the E or would you just say 4?
4. It kind of might be 4, unless it's the accent over the E. Well, then it makes it silent. So then it's even still 4.
I have no clue what we're
she
talking
just made
about.
them real fancy for it.
I did. I mean, it was no accent.
It's 4.
What are we? Wait, what happened just then? Where did we go? Where did we go?
The guest,
Mhm.
the special guest for next week.
Yes,
The last name is Fore.
got it.
How would
Okay.
you pronounce that?
I don't know. I would ask her. Just ask her.
Well, I'm gonna ask her next week, but I
I need
wanted
a
to.
phonetic spelling, Miss April.
So if I said your name wrong, Miss April, I apologize. It's either I would say Fourier or
It's
4.
It's probably 4.
It's probably 4.
Names are so complex.
They
right?
are.
I feel like if it was
if she from this
different, I think
place,
she
but not
probably
this
would have
place.
said it was.
I don't know.
Say that one more time, Tiana.
I think if it was like pronounced different, I think she probably would have maybe mentioned that or something.
Those are not safe assumptions.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Well, we'll find out next week. Stay
We
tuned.
will. Let her
This
say
is
her
the
name
climb-
first.
This is the cliffhanger. This is the cliffhanger, y'all. Join us next week to find out what our special guest last name is.
Is it 4 or 4 yet?
I love y'all, ladies. Have a good night. Thank you. God bless you. Peace.
Peace.